All of our viewers.
Sorry.
Are,
Okay.
Welcome to all of our viewers and listeners. Here we are again, Giovanna and Karen, with our Too Much Is Never Enough podcast.
Woo-hoo!
So, yay! Both wearing like white cream color. We're usually wearing either colors or darker colors. We didn't plan this, so this wasn't any memo that went out. It just shows how good and in sync we are with each other, because tonight we're talking about lifestyle. And when you want something so badly enough, you will attract the same thing. So hence both of us wearing our light spring colors, we're
Right.
attracted to each other. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, and so I can't wait for this actual topic that we're going to be talking about, this lifestyle, Karen. So what does lifestyle mean to you? What is it that lifestyle, what does it mean? Like, what does it represent to you?
Yes, that's a great question, because everyone and everywhere in advertising and marketing is about lifestyle. But does anyone really question what it is? Lifestyle is your complete style of the way that you're living, right? So it could be you're living your lifestyle in a healthy way or an unhealthy way, addictive or non-addictive, in a toxic way or an untoxic way. How are you feeding your brain and your body and surrounding yourself with? It's the whole kit and caboodle. It's your whole life, involving your relationships with yourself, your higher being, God, your children, if you have children, relationships, your work family. You're around your work family more than you are your actual family. So your lifestyle is everything encompassed in one. And who's in it? Who do you allow in it? Who do you have boundaries for? It's everything. You know, I've been in therapy for years, and there were some years that I wasn't in therapy. Now I have a great therapist that is reintroducing all this to me, and it makes me really stop and think. I consider myself a wellness practitioner. I am all about wellness, mind, body, spirit, everything. And boundaries are huge. When someone speaks to you disrespectfully, or someone gossips about you, or makes you feel, insecure, you don't have to be physically in front of somebody. You can hear their voice on the phone, the tone of the voice, the energy between them. That's all lifestyle. It's how are you choosing, what style are you choosing to live your life?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It just encompasses all of that. I'm so passionate about that. I could talk about that forever. I start to think about the people that are not in my life anymore, and how wonderful and freeing it is for me, but how I felt so stuck and so just in a bad spot when they were in my life. And I've had some friends that have tried to reach out to me that I thought were my friends, and I'll never speak to them again by my own choice, because I'm protecting myself. I don't want all that in my life anymore. I love the people that are in my life, and I get to make that choice. Like, I can choose what I want to eat and what time I want to go to bed, what time I want to wake up, all of that. It's a lifestyle. It's the choice of style you choose. And I choose to live a happy, abundant, healthy life.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Yeah. There's a lot of passion in that. That's just how I feel. Now, I have a question to ask you, and for many of our viewers and listeners who don't even know you, I can say this out loud, that you are passionate about diabetes, people with diabetes, and you have a family history of it, and you wanted to make sure that your lifestyle was changed. So my question for you is, how did you change your mindset, the way that you were thinking, to be so disciplined to completely change to the lifestyle that you desired?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a mindset. So I know I started about 8 to 9 years ago, and I started going to different meetings, going to different mentors. And I was listening to a lot of people that, talk about lifestyle, talk about mindset. So the mindset, it all works. Your mindset, from your mindset all the way to your body, what you want your body to look like. You have to manifest it, basically, too. You have to use the right words all the time. So, and the ones that I normally always listen to is Jim Rohn. I like Jim Rohn. That's one of the mentors that I see as a mentor. He always talked about mindset. Tony Robbins. Oh my God, Tony Robbins. That's another guy who's like, wow. It's just your lifestyle, and you have to have this like dynamic way of thinking, and you have to go that route. And for me, it took a while because I had negative thoughts all the time. I was always told as a kid, you're big, you're fat, you're this, you're that, so growing up, maybe like as a teenager, not as much. I would work out a lot because when I was younger, they would pick at me,
Mhm.
so that's the mindset. The mindset is to change the past of what people have told you, of what you look like. Um,
Wow.
and the mindset of just changing your way of being too, whatever you want. Um,
Yes.
and not go back to the past of what the past was, basically.
Mhm.
That mindset of the past, it was like negative, degrading. You have
Oh,
to not degrade yourself. You have to have this image of yourself as being pure, um, you wanting your body to be healthy from the inside out, basically, and cellular level too. So I had to do a lot of mindset. I had to do a lot of affirmations. I had to go through those steps, and I had to do it like for myself, in general.
yeah. I like what you said about the when you're talking about like when you were younger, you were getting picked on for being too big. I was picked on for being too skinny. They would call me twig,
Mhm.
bones. Kids would throw stones. I mean, literally threw stones at me.
Oh,
I
wow.
wanted to be, my name isn't like, what are you doing? Like, they were like, they called me so many mean names. And, I talk about kids called me ugly. And it's interesting, very interesting to me how one child could say something, but everybody wants to be like that child. It's like follow the leader. So they're following the one who's bad because that one has the loudest voice. The squeaky wheel, is always heard first, or whatever that saying is. And these kids would just follow these other children, and it happens. That's called bullying. I was bullied. And that dawned on me about 6 months ago. I thought to myself, I had been bullied in a very, very, very bad way. So there's a lot of tragedies I've been through in my life. But when I admit out loud to being bullied, it's weird. Like, why would I tolerate that? I just took it and just kept walking home, kept throwing stones. I kept thinking I just have to get 2 more blocks ahead of myself, and these kids aren't even going to see me because they're going to have to turn the corner and go the other way. And I would come home crying, and it was awful. So I know the feeling of being picked on. And I believe that that's why you and I are here now on this platform, and why we're here with our podcast, because Tony Robbins will be a guest of ours on this podcast, and I'm claiming it. There's no reason why he wouldn't be.
Exactly.
We have a voice, we have a platform, we have something to share. And I'd be honored to have him, because why? Anything that you want is very attainable. You have to see it, visualize it, believe it, and make it, and it'll become real.
Exactly. And I believe that. I believe that truly, because whatever you think of is what you're going to get, basically.
Always,
Um,
always.
I try not to voice things out at all. And if I do, I'm like, I erase that. Sorry, I
And,
didn't mean
or,
that. So you
yeah, or
backfire. And
delete
I
it.
try to always backfire and try to change it, Yeah,
Wow.
there's some times that, your old self comes back sometimes, and it's just like, oh man, what's
Yeah.
happening? But you do question things. I think it's normal. We're human beings. We have to go through it.
It
It's
is.
it's a process though, and you have to either go step by step through it, and it's basically like learning. You have to read, you have to learn, you have to train your brain. Like you
Yes.
train your body, you have to train your brain no matter what. That's the
Yes.
one thing that you have to do.
It's my favorite subject, really, is mental health, the brain. I can talk about the brain forever. Psychology, the brain, the mindset. To be so disciplined, right? To want something so bad and go after it and learn how to do it. You do this with all the video cutting and all the recordings and everything. You are excellent at that. And that's something that you took upon yourself through different projects that you and I worked on to now our podcast, by cutting it. And that's terrific. I wouldn't know how to do that. I can talk all day long, and I was here, and I could perform and do I have no problem getting in front of a crowd,
Yeah.
you know, talking. And you cutting these videos is just amazing to me. So that's like something that you're good at, but you're disciplined at it because you were determined and you learned, self-taught, master.
Self-taught.
You are. And, it's the same thing with me too, with lifestyle. I feel like I've been through so many different things in my life. I could talk on so many subjects to so many people at different levels. It's incredible, very diverse, very acclimated in any situation. I can handle anything. It's like, sometimes I feel like maybe in a previous life, I was a firefighter because I feel like I'm putting out fires all the times, but I'm always able to have a solution for a problem. You can tell me, anyone can ask me, I need help with this, and I will figure out a way to do it. Through myself or through my network, it will get solved. I've never come across, except for one thing majorly in my life, that I could not fix. And other than that, everything else is doable. So I know you and I are on that same page of wanting to, live a healthy lifestyle, and we're human. And, everyone says, oh, I make mistakes. I do this, I do that. You can have every single thing that you want in life. Just work for it.
Exactly. No, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
You know what? I have a question for you. So
Okay.
how did you start your journey with the lifestyle that you live in right now? Especially with yoga, the wellness.
There was a woman that my mom used to watch on TV on Channel 11 on PBS years ago, and she did yoga. I don't know this woman's name. I'd have to really Google her, but I remember watching her on this TV and her bending into all these positions and stuff. And I knew that I had scoliosis. I've had scoliosis my whole life from going to the doctor as a small child. Like, there's a little curvature in my spine. They're always checking my spine. So I know I have scoliosis, and I know from a young age I was supposed to sit with good posture and everything. So my mom would put this yoga teacher on TV, and I would watch her. And this again was a recollection just recently of me remembering this through therapy. I would start doing some of those positions. That's like the physical part of it. I always knew that we were supposed to stretch and, just be very pliable with our bodies, take care of ourselves. As far as a mental health point of view, though, that goes back to when I was at the age of 3. I just remember understanding that if anyone's going to fight for me, it's going to be myself. And that had to do with my upbringing and my childhood. So, I got married very young. I had Fallon, my oldest daughter, when I was 21. I was only with one person, I dated him, and that was my ex-husband since I was 16 years old. My lifestyle to me was, I wanted a family. I came from a very disruptive family, and I manifested that. 18 years old, I sat on my front step and said, God, all I want is a family that will love me back as much as I love them. And lo and behold, 3 years later, I have a husband, a daughter, and another daughter on the way. I manifested that.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point forward, moving forward, I just knew that I had these children now, and I want them to eat well. I want them to have be healthy and have a good, formation of how to live their life. And I just, I've always eaten well. I've always exercised at some point. I've always had a positive mindset. Everybody that knows me they will always say I've always been upbeat, happy, and positive, regardless of what.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, my heart, I don't fake it. I can't pretend I'm happy, because when I'm mad, I'm a raging crazy Italian, insane, off the charts. I've scared them so that they really don't want to talk to me. That's how crazy I can get. So I just know what's good for me and what isn't. And, I just make the best choices I can. And when I make a choice that isn't good, it's probably going down a destructive path, which we're going to talk about addictions in another podcast of ours. But I could go down a very destructive path because I'm not feeling good, and then pay the consequence later. But I choose to live in a good, yogatic lifestyle, which basically is breathing techniques, meditation, being very careful of what I'm eating, who I'm talking to, what I'm saying out loud, getting enough sleep. Yeah. I knew I wanted to live this life my whole life, and I just created it just the way that it is. I've been fighting for myself since I was 3, and, that's where I am today. And I will admit this out loud. In 2019, I said to God, this is the last, or 2020, this is the last winter I'll ever be in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea I was coming to Georgia, but I knew I would be south, and here I am. I manifested this.
Yeah.
Not knowing where I am. So you have to be specific when you're asking for things and speaking. If you are very specific, you'll get specifically what you're asking for. If you ask in general, it'll be a generalization.
Exactly. And when you don't know what you want, sometimes it's better not to say anything. And just remember that you have to center yourself, and also think about what you actually want. And if you don't know what you want, then put it in God's hands, basically. But at
Always.
the same time, don't voice out something else that might not be your lifestyle that you're creating or you want.
Yes, I agree with you. Or letting somebody else's opinion come into your, what I call my world, my space, whatever. You're bringing your opinions into me, and then I don't want to listen to that. That's not what I want. So I have to kind of clear the air on that. I admire you so much, and I've looked up to you really since the day I met you, because I remember meeting you and you were so quiet, and I was quiet too, but we
Mhm.
were taking, now I look back and I reflect on it, we were taking in what was around us. We were always learning, always absorbing, always wanting more information. One thing I really am so amazed by you is your discipline and your strength of the journey that you've been on with your health. And when you set your mind to something, it's just set, like it's not going to veer, you know. Can you just, I guess my question to you is like, how do you stay so strong with not going another way when you should be, you know, especially with eating? You know, I have definitely have an eating disorder. I don't know what you want to call it, but there's days I binge on certain things. I mean, got my Twizzlers right here, a whole pack of Twizzlers. I know. How do you stay so strong from not
For me,
caving?
basically, not to cave in. I think it was, I can piggyback again. Seeing the way my grandmother died, seeing how much she was in pain. Um, each time she would step on the floor, it was like she was walking on pins and needles. And it was just like, wow, I wish, like, she was so good. Like, in my head, I was like, this woman was a pure-hearted angel. She didn't deserve to pass away that way. So my discipline, or going back into the eating habits, as a kid, uh, there wasn't a regiment. We could eat whatever we want. Um, my mom would probably get, TV dinners, and that was our food. That had no value, no nutritional value to it, you know? So at a very young age, I started to learn how to cook. And that's also another passion of mine. I love cooking. I love making homemade meals, with good ingredients. So it's my mindset. It's just the way I remember how she passed away. Well, my grandmother passed away with diabetes. And that always comes back to my mind. Like, do
Wow.
you really want that? Like, are you going, like, for me personally, it would be hard to eat something without actually binging or wanting more, you know? Um, I don't think I have that self-control where it's like, I'm gonna stop at just one bite. If I
Yes.
have that whole donut, I was like, oh, I want it all, I don't know how to stop. Let's just put it that way. So that's why in my head, I was like, I'm not even gonna touch it because I know I'm going to indulge in that. Because for me, and I'll tell you this, basically, it's an addiction, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sugar, you know, um, a lot of stuff. It's like an addiction, basically, it's that feeling of endorphins going into your brain. It's like, I want more. Can I have
Yes.
more?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to stop, type of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where it comes down to it, where it's like, okay, do I really want to go that path? Because I know if I continue, I wouldn't be able to stop.
Right.
So,
So having the lifestyle that you have, which is a healthy lifestyle, which is in proportion, which is with discipline, which is with, without a doubt, you're very careful of the words that you choose and that you use. That's how your journey has taken you from where you saw yourself to where you are now and to where you're going to be in the future. Like, you have your vision, you have your plan. We've talked about this. So do I. So it's that continual growth. It's that 1% better every single day that I believe it was Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins, or I'm trying to think who, maybe it's John C. Maxwell that said it, but you grow 1% better every day. It's 1%. And that's easy. In a whole year, you'd be 365%, better. Reading every day, 10 pages a day is so easy. I have this book that Danielle had asked me if I wanted to read it with her. And it's a really, it's a really good book. It's called Getting Good at Being You. And Trisha Yearwood wrote it, but Getting Good at Being You, learning to love who God made you to be. And it's really a quick read. I mean, these pages are simple. I can get about 20. Yeah, I'm only like on my 4th day of reading. I'm almost halfway through, but just reading, picking up a book, learning a new language, researching somewhere to go travel, anything, picking up a new hobby. So we were just talking about like wanting more. We're the type of people that want to learn more. We want to be better every single day. And there's a lot to be said with that. This give me more, give me more, give me more. I'm a sponge. I want to absorb, but I want to learn more. I want to hear more. I want to be surrounded by people smarter than me, more traveled than me, that have more experience than me, so I can learn from them. And then if they're surrounded by people that are, have more knowledge than them, look at this big circle that we just created. That's creating a lifestyle. Some people are stuck. They don't know how to let go of the past. They truly are stuck in the 9 to 5. They are stuck in what other people programmed them to be. So they're here. They don't even know what's in front of them, what their life could be like, because they're here. They're afraid. Fear holds them back. When you're fearless, everything is possible. And I will truly put this out in the universe. I fear nothing. I fear nothing, because whatever's going to come up against me, I will solve it. I fear nothing. I absolutely fear nothing. I'm so grateful to have you as my partner here with the podcast, because I could do this myself. You could do it yourself. It's just more fun with each other.
Someone else, right? And you're so amazing, Karen, because I know I love the way you meditate. That's one of my things that I like about your lifestyle. The meditation, a lot of the members from the diabetes group, they love your meditations, and it's just like, you go into a different aspect. Like, I know your Italian side, because my Mexican side. And it's just like, we can bump heads and, throw down if we have to.
Yes.
Chicago minute or second. But at the same time, it's just like, you can go into this real peaceful state. And I've been seeing this one thing on TikTok, which I think it's so amazing. It's like, we're quiet and nice and smooth, but we do have that beast inside of us sometimes. Just don't disrupt it, because then you never know.
Happen. I think that's important for all of our listeners and viewers to know that we as a human race can be very silent, but what we're holding inside of us can be so explosive. It's very bipolar. It's one way or the other way. And that's just it. Which then comes back to balance. How are you balancing your life? Where's the balance in everything that you do, in your relationships, in your food, sleeping, exercise, where is the balance with your money? Where's the balance?
You have to balance it though. I think personally, I know for me, I have to have my routine. I wake up each morning. First thing I say, thank you. Thank you for this life, for the air in my lungs. It's the main thing. And then I go about my business where I'll have my coffee. I'll start doing my meditation, and then I'll do my workout and then get ready to go to work, and that took a while. Like, I didn't have that discipline before. It was like, I would wake up, jump to the shower, go straight to work. And I didn't have there was no routine whatsoever. So I forced myself to have a routine. I looked at other people, the way they lived, and I'm like, well, I'd rather live like that. I want to be able to go and have a run at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. I want to be that lady that's in my yoga pants running out there, and enjoying the day, basically.
Yeah. The routines definitely help you, because I know I have to write things down in my calendar. I still have a paper calendar, day timer. I write that down. I'll transfer some things to my phone, but just as long as I can see what's coming up, keep track of all that. And I get up in the morning, same thing, my blessings, my gratitude, make my bed, brush my teeth. If I have to take a shower, do whatever I have to do, but I have everything lined up and ready to go. And it's like, That's the routine of the morning, starting the day off with meditation, no cell phone, scripture reading, whatever I'm doing in that quiet zone. I call it my quiet zone, my quiet time, where I can hear so much inside my head and just know what I want for the day. When you start the day off like that, no matter what comes your way. But if you wake up late and you're rushing, it's a cycle. Your life's going to be rushed that day. You're going to have all kinds of crazy things happen. Then you wonder, why is this happening? Well, that's how your day started. So you created that. You can make your choices and what you're going to say, what you're going to do, and who you're going to be with. So what, do people choose to do? I choose to have a healthy, as best as I can, happy, no negativity, no drama life. That's it. The only drama is going to be like fun drama, having a good time, but nothing.
Go dancing, baby.
Yeah, but no drama. So that's what we choose. The title of our podcast, Too Much is Never Enough. Too much is never enough. Too much of anything could be so good, but it's never enough to want to get too much out of life, to live your life to the fullest extent, because every day is precious. Every day is a gift, and you really don't know when it's your last. You have no idea, and it's just going to happen.
Exactly.
And when you better have lived a damn good life, in my opinion. So. Another wonderful conversation between the two of us. We learned. Viewers, if you have any comments or anything, drop it in the comments below, reach out to us. We're always looking for guests for our podcast as well. We just decided today we're going to talk about lifestyle because it's something that needs to be discussed and kind of get everybody a little bit triggered and thinking how they are living their life, what they could do to improve it, and maybe get rid of something out of your life. There's always baggage that can be thrown away. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Well, until podcast, we wish all of you to stay healthy and to stay happy, to make good choices, and to take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of you, nobody else is going to. You attract
Absolutely.
out.
Thank you. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah. I don't even know how you do all that.